The door opened, and a person stepped out of the light, and I did the only sensible thing a frightened old man can do. I lay down in the grass like a child, and I watched. If you are new here, I fell through that door onto a dead earth, found the camp of people who never made it home, and then the door began opening on its own. So no, I was not about to stroll up and say hello to whatever it brought. She was armed, a torch in one hand, the beam swinging slow across the grass. Methodical, like someone who had done this before and expected to do it again. And then she said my name, my real one, the one almost nobody uses, in a flat, tired voice that did not match the gun. Vance, I know you're here. The door tells us where it last went. Get up. We've got 9 minutes. Her name was Reyes, a soldier, the only person at that base who had ever looked at me like a man and not a tool. She had come through after me, she said, because she was the only one mad enough to cross twice. I asked how she could possibly be so calm, standing on a dead world with the light going. She said calm was the only thing that had ever kept her alive on the far side of these doors, and that I should learn it quickly, because I was going to need it. She told me, while she worked, the things nobody at the base had bothered to, that every world the door reaches is one the builders abandoned, that most are empty, and the empty ones are the kind ones, that the rule is simple. You are a guest somewhere that does not want guests, so you go quiet, you go quick, and you are gone before the place notices you at all. You already broke the first rule, she said, not unkindly, not looking up from the socket. You read it out loud. The whole world heard you arrive. I told her how I had got here, that I had read the number out loud. She went very still, and the stillness was worse than if she had shouted. We never say them aloud, she said. We carve them, we set them, and we step quick. Saying it out loud is how the early ones died. She nodded at the grey camp up on the ridge. That's them. That's what out loud does. Then she went back to carving the way home into the socket, the reverse of the number that had brought me, her hands quick and certain in the dark. And then the wind stopped, all at once, like a held breath. Across the valley the grass began to move. Not with the wind, there was no wind now. It moved in a long straight line bending toward us, fast, as if something beneath the surface of the whole world was swimming through it towards the light of the open door. Reyes did not run. I want you to understand that, because I will never forget it. She did not run. She walked, fast and steady, and she took my arm and pulled me with her, and she said one thing, low, that I have heard in my sleep every night since. Don't look at it. It learns your face. We stepped into the light with that line 3 meters behind us and closing. And crossing, I have to tell you, is not like walking through a door. It is like being poured. For a moment that had no length, I was nowhere and everywhere on the chain at once, and I felt the worlds rush past me like cards in a shuffled deck. Empty earth after empty earth, 1,000 skies, and somewhere in the middle of them, one cold place that turned, slowly, to look at me as I went by. And then we were back. Cold. Steel. The red light of the base. 2 miles of honest earth ice over our heads. I have never in my life been so glad to be somewhere so grim. A medic put a light in my eyes and frowned at whatever she found there. My hands would not stop shaking, and not from the cold. Something in me had been thinned by the crossing, stretched, and it had not quite settled back into its proper shape. I asked the medic what was wrong with me. She would not answer, which was an answer. Later I learned the word they use for it, quietly, among themselves. Thinning. Each crossing takes a little of you and does not give it back, and they had sent me through twice in a single week. I looked at my own hands shaking in the red light and understood for the first time that the door does not simply move you, it charges a fee, and it always, always collects. Holt was waiting at the foot of the door. She did not look relieved to see me alive. She looked at me the way you look at a clock that has finally, after a long time broken, started working again. How long was I gone? I asked her. It felt like 2 days, 3 at the most. She said, 19 days. And she let that sit on me for a moment, before she gave me the rest, that the number set into the door, the thing counting down, had dropped further in those 19 days than it had in the whole year before I arrived. Whatever is coming had just sped up. And now, she said quietly, It knew the door was being used. It knew someone was home.